first up, let's begin with the breaking update because recently on the day when it comes to the parliament that was debating and discussing Operation Sindoor and the Pahalgam attackers who were eliminated in a successful operation that was carried out by our forces. Now, days after the forces eliminated the 3 Pahalgam butchers, Times Now has accessed a detailed report on the identities and the backgrounds of the Pahalgam attackers. According to reports, the forces have recovered Pakistani voter ID card, Pakistan manufactured personal items. There are also, when it comes to Nadra Link smart ID chips that have also been recovered. All of these developments are now coming to light with the successful operation Mahadev that was carried out by the forces there. And of course, to those people as well, as far as a certain section of ecosystem is concerned, who continue to question when it comes to Pahalgam terrorists and why on that particular day, when it comes to the entire operation that was carried out when the parliament was holding debate, well, here are the answers. And as far as their Pakistan identities are concerned, that too has been confirmed. Now, this is something where the Union Home Minister, while he was addressing both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, he says that when it comes to the Indian Army, the CRPF, the Jammu and Kashmir Police that neutralized the 3 terrorists, and they have been identified because these are the top handlers of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Suleiman, Afghan and Gibran. As far as Suleiman being the top commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba, who was responsible for the Pahalgam attack, and multiple pieces of evidence that have also been found in supporting his involvement when it comes to Pahalgam terror attack, that too has now been established. Let's get on a word from Bhavtosh, who's joining us live right now. Bhavtosh, good morning. As far as these terrorists are concerned, of course they are Pakistanis, they have been trained there as far as being part of the Lashkar-e-Taiba. They have been confirmed to have played a role when it comes to Pahalgam terror attack. But exactly when it comes to their links to Pakistan, how exactly it is now being evidence with evidence supporting that as far as their links are now concerned. What can you tell us?
Amita, good morning. All the evidence are out in open. We have, in fact, Times Now has accessed the voter identity card as well as the chip that has been recovered. All this, in fact, points out one thing, that the 3 terrorists who were gunned down in the encounter that took place last Monday clearly shows that these are Pakistani terrorists and were involved in Pahalgam terror attack. In fact, the intercepts that have been recovered by the security agencies clearly showed that they entered through POK, which is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, sometime in May 2022, and then subsequently in April 2025, just days before the Pahalgam terror attack, they entered into Western Valley and then carried out the dastardly terror attack. In fact, India has in fact got the chip from the Pakistani national identity card, which clearly showed that Suleiman was the one who masterminded the terror attack, along with Habib as well as the other terrorists who goes by the alliance of Afghani. Now, these evidence clearly points out one thing, that the conspiracy was hacked by the ISI along with the Lashkar-e-Taiba's offshoot TRF, which in fact initially claimed the responsibility of the terror attack, then later deleted the post. Now, what we have put out is the proof of the identity card of one of the terrorists, and then subsequent proof will be shown by us. Clearly shows one thing, that these are armed terrorists who in fact entered or infiltrated through POK and then in fact spent nearly 3 years before carrying out one of the deadliest terror attacks that India has seen in recent times.
All right, this is a big development because as far as the operation is concerned, the Operation Mahadev that was carried out, it marked a major breakthrough in the investigation into Pahalgam attack that claimed 26 innocent lives back in April. My colleague Pratibha is also connected with us. So is Sahil Suhail joining us as far as when it comes to this big exclusive that we are picking up. Pratibha, as far as a certain ecosystem, the Saboot gang is concerned, who were questioning the role of Pakistan in Pahalgam terror attack, will it now be laid to rest?
Absolutely. There were many, even on the day the parliament was taking up the discussion, were raising these questions. In fact, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah had spoken about these doubters in the parliament as well, and he had spoken of evidence that was available that these are cross-border terrorists who have come from Pakistan. So the details go on to mention that the 3 attackers were Pakistani nationals and senior Lashkar-e-Taiba operatives who had been hiding in the Dachigam Harwan forest since the day of the attack. And then it goes on to mention the exact role of each of them. Suleiman Shah, who was the mastermind and the lead shooter, Abu Hamza, who was the second gunman, as well as Yasir, the third gunman, and the rear security. And then here is what many of these opposition leaders, many of those who were doubting, should be watching. This is the ultimate proof of the Pakistani voter ID cards, 2 laminated voter slips issued by the Election Commission of Pakistan that were found in the pockets of Suleiman Shah as well as Abu Hamza, recovered by the officials after Operation Mahadev.
All right, Pratibha, thank you for that. Let's get in a word from Major General A.K. Sivach, who is also connected with us. Sir, there was never a doubt, but there were still some who continue to raise questions. But as far as the identities that have now been established of these terrorists, of course, Pakistanis, and who exactly were shielding them here back in the country as well, because the government and our agencies made sure that if they had committed the terror, they have committed the crime, they would not be let off. At least they didn't have a way to re-enter Pakistan.
No doubt about it. As far as this Operation Mahadev was concerned, it was a very successful operation where the terrorists which belonging to Pakistan were eliminated. Suleiman Shah was a mastermind of Pahalgam massacre, and he is the one who has been neutralized along with the other two terrorists, which is Jabbar as well as Afghani. Now, there is no denying the fact that all these were Pakistani. They have been trained by Pakistani Army and ISI, and certain overground worker and sleeper cell was helping them out. What has happened is after Operation after Pahalgam massacre, they managed to go into the higher reaches in Dachigam area, and they were hiding there, and they were equipped basically with a radio set which is digitally encrypted, which is very difficult to intercept. And they were also having the weapons which were basically made in America, left in Afghanistan. That M4 carbine, they had all the documents which showed that they were Pakistani. They have their identity card. So there is no denying the fact these were basically trained, motivated by Pakistan Army. They have been operating in Kashmir Valley for almost about a year or not. Possibly they have come through Rajouri Poonch area, then gone to Paoni Rasi, and then come to Doda Kuswad, and then they cross over the Pir Panjal and come to the southern Kashmir.
Yes.
And that is where they have created this massacre. But the point today is that it goes without saying they were the Pakistani terrorists and they have been now eliminated. And now one must understand it's not only Suleiman Shah, there were other two, Yasir, which was with him, and Hunja. The point is that one of them has been killed with him, but the third one is still missing. So basically what has happened, it shows that they were not only 2-3, they were in 2-3 groups of 2-3, and
yes,
possibly the other one may be also there, and the Indian Army security forces are at it.
And absolutely how intensive as far as the search operations were concerned, because our forces made it clear and, made it happen, sir, especially when it comes to the attempt of fleeing to Pakistan. Well, that was something that was completely left out, and they couldn't do that at all. But intensive search operations, finally within 100 days of the Pahalgam terror attack, the butchers of Pahalgam were neutralized. Thank you very much, Major General Sivach, for your point of view. There is another angle there, because look at the amount of check and double checks that is now being done by the authorities. DNA match has also now confirmed the Pahalgam butchers. Suleiman Shah, who is said to be the Pahalgam mastermind, Abu Hamza, and also when it comes to Yasir, who is the third Pahalgam gunman as well, their DNA match that has also now taken place. Look at the levels of Sahil when we speak of such kind of investigation is taking place. Because right after Operation Mahadev was carried out, this was a major breakthrough, but all of them, including the individuals who were detained, the bodies was carried there. They were identified. Then even when it comes to the weapons that were being used in the forensic science laboratory in Chandigarh, that was also reconfirmed when it comes to being the same weapons that was carried out by the killed terrorists that matched those that was used in the Pahalgam terror attack. Look at the number of evidences that are now mounting up.
Well, exactly. After Operation Mahadev, we all were basically waiting for an official statement or waiting for the details. But yes, security forces were taking their time to double cross or in fact double check the identities and other details of the attackers or those who were killed in the Operation Mahadev. So first of all, it was in fact the eyewitnesses that were called in, the OGWs who basically identified all of them, and then the process of scientific matching or bringing out details on scientific level that started. The firearms were sent to Chandigarh. The matching has taken place, and in fact 6 people were there who had in fact confirmed.
Sahil, apologies, just interrupting you. Lieutenant General Vishnu Chaturvedi is also connected with us. Sir, what do you make of, when it comes to the mountain of evidence that seems to be piling as far as the Pahalgam butchers is concerned? It is confirmed that they were indeed Pakistanis, they came from Pakistan, they were trained by Pakistan, and of course the evidence that also clearly marks out their direct link to Pakistan.
You are absolutely correct, madam. There is no doubt, and there were never a doubt right from day one. However, everything, when you have to prove something, needs evidence. And that is what is now being done. The dead bodies of these 3 terrorists have been identified by the people who have seen them that day. Also the ammunition that they fired, they had the fired cartridges. And with that, they have now, with the forensic lab at Chandigarh, they have confirmed that it is the same weapon which had fired those rounds and now what has been found. So these are all evidence, 100% accurate evidence will be produced. But for Pakistan, none of these things ever matter because they continue to deny.
Yes.
They now, even the Security Council TRF has been declared as a terrorist organization. But let us see how much pressure we can build. At least that part is definitely there. We'll be able to build pressure on Pakistan, create pressure for the world to tell Pakistan that you stop doing all these.
Well, that doesn't come as a surprise, sir, when it comes to Pakistan, because remember, during the time of war, when it ended, they refused to take back their own killed soldiers as well, refused to even identify them. Thank you very much, Lieutenant General Chaturvedi, for your point of view. Well, this is the extent to which the length that is now being covered by the Indian authorities when it comes to our forces, especially when it comes to establishing the identity of the Pahalgam butchers. This is the proof, this is the evidence, and this is how the confirmation came in from the Union Home Minister himself while he was addressing the Parliament.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं विषय पर आने से पहले आपके माध्यम से सदन को और सदन के माध्यम से पूरे देश को ऑपरेशन महादेव जो कल एक हुआ है, इसकी जानकारी देना चाहता हूं। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, कल ऑपरेशन महादेव में सुलेमान उर्फे फैजल जट, अफगान और जिब्रान 3 आतंकवादी सेना, सीआरपीएफ और जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस के संयुक्त अभियान में ऑपरेशन महादेव में मारे गए। ये जो सुलेमान है, ए श्रेणी का लश्कर ए तोयबा का कमांडर था पहलगाम हमले में, और गगनगिर आतंकी हमले में वो लिप्त था। इसके ढेर सारे सबूत हमारी एजेंसियों के पास है। अफगान ए श्रेणी का लश्कर ए तैयबा का आतंकवादी था और जिब्रान भी ए ग्रेड आतंकवादी था। और माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं सदन को और सदन के माध्यम से पूरे देश को बताना चाहता हूं, जिन्होंने बेसरन घाटी में हमारे प्रवासियों को, नागरिकों को मारा था, ये तीनों आतंकवादी ये थे और तीनों मारे गए।
Well, those questioning Pakistan's involvement, here is the proof. As the operation, when we speak of Operation Mahadev, that has marked a major breakthrough in the investigation into Pahalgam attack that claimed 26 innocent lives. With that, we head into a short